So I came up with this title of Stop Chasing and Start Expecting. And expecting really is anticipating, but I feel like the word anticipating is too broad. Expecting is, and this is going to be mostly a double strategy, but you can apply some of it to singles. But if you're at the net and you see your opponent like this, what do you expect? Well, you're going to get whacked. So back up. So versus, what do you anticipate? You start thinking, what do I anticipate? What do you expect? So expecting is more to realize what is happening in front of you, and that's going to affect your core positioning. And the chasing is pretty much being reactive to what your opponent is doing. So, and I have a great dog, and I'm not saying my students have dogs, but just like, where's the ball? There's the ball. I'll go get it. And a lot of times that's how you play doubles or singles. You kind of wait to see where the ball's been hit, and you go to it. So the little on the bottom, learn to go where the ball is going to be. So my teaching philosophy pretty much is based on understanding the skills and limitations of the recreational players that I worked with, some top juniors, but the bulk of my teaching is now with recreational players. So I'm not going to ask you to do things that, look at what Alcaraz does and this and no, it's just pretty much the things that you can absolutely do. And so good players, pretty much 80% of the time, we know what's coming back. When I hit a ball, playing against Jonathan, a big serve and volleyer, if he hits his serve, I'm lucky enough to return it right at his feet. I know he's going to struggle. It's going to be maybe a shallow, low volley, so I may be moving forward. If I give him a high volley right here, I'm like, oh, crap, I'm dead. I'm going to hang back. So I kind of know, based on what I did, what is coming back. So what I'm going to show you today is the things that the pros, the advanced players do that you don't really see, okay? And that's the secret. And so I told you what anticipate the difference between the two, and why you should listen to me. I don't have enough time for that. So just like tell my 9-year-old daughter, because I told you so right now, okay? That's why you're going to do it. But I promise you, like the website I always wanted to have, I never did it. It was like theshitworks.com. Okay, when I'm telling you, the stuff works, okay? So, and it works 80% of the time, but it does work. So where does that sense come from? Learn to what the ball is going to be. I got it from how to describe Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky said that, he didn't chase the puck. He went to where the puck was going to be. And that's why he was so good at it. And that's what I'm going to try to teach you, that you're going to learn to where the ball is going to be. And go to the next frame. If you could take one thing away from this lecture, okay, one thing, is your opponent's shot is based on what you gave them. Okay, again, going back to playing against Jonathan, I got him at the baseline, a high, deep ball to his backhand. I don't care how good it is. I pretty much know it's going to be a defensive shot coming back. He's running in, foaming at the mouth, his racket back here. I kind of know what's coming. So I'm going to show you a roadmap of really how to really figure out what's coming back. Okay, so I can do it because I've done it my whole life. I've been playing tennis since I was a junior, so I've gathered all that data, but I'm going to show you a roadmap how pretty much you can figure out what's coming back 80% of the time. The only thing that I cannot cover is the shank or the great shot. When you see pros, once in a while they go like this to each other, is when, man, I give you that little sliver and you freaking made it. All right, so that's one you can't, or the shank, the Shankosaurus. So how did my shot affect my opponent? And what's most likely going to come back? And the clues are right there in front of you. So that's what I'm going to try to point out to you. All those clues that are right there in front of you that you didn't see. You're waiting, again, to chase the ball down. So this is obviously a double strategy. So I'm going to start off with we need some basic principles. So where do you stand to begin the point when you're in that player? So let's go. My favorite part is, why do you stand at the service line while my partner is receiving serve? Okay, give me something else. That's old school. Old school. Okay, there's one reason and one reason only why I start here, in case my partner screws up. What's the worst thing my partner can do? I know Jonathan, so you can always hit the ball to the net player. But what's the worst thing I want him to do? Hit a high floater to the net player, right? I don't care if I brought Novak, Rafa, and Roger to play doubles with me. When one of the big three is going to return serve, where am I going to stand? Right here. I'm not going to go all the way up there. So again, I'm anticipating if my partner screws up, I'm going to go where the ball is going to, I'm going to pretty much be right where the ball is going to be. So that's why, if you keep that in the back of your mind as I go into the lecture, that's why you're off the net when your partner is hitting the ball. Why? In case your partner screws up, pretty much. That's pretty much why I'm back off the net, in case my partner hits a high ball or a weak ball to the net player. So I want to be pretty much right in the trajectory. So if I knew that I'm a net player, and I knew that my opponent is at the baseline, is going to drive the ball, how close can I technically get to the net? I'm playing against Lance. He's over there. I'm a net player, and he's at the baseline. He's about to unload. He's not lobbing. What's the best place on the court in doubles to defend a passing shot? How close? Let's say you knew for sure, 100%, 1,000%, there's no, how close could I get? Could I get this close? I know he's not going to lob me, which we don't know that for sure. So pretty much anytime you know that your opponent is going to drive the ball at the baseline, they're about to drive it. If they were going to come to you, the closer you get to the net, the better. Because there is that chance of a lob, but I'm going to show you later when to expect the lob and when to expect the drive. But if you figure it out, hey, they're going to drive the ball, it's counterintuitive. You got to get closer to the net. Where's the best place to defend a lob if you're a net player? You got to pick a spot. So I got to establish some rules. If I know they're going to pass me, I want to get closer to the net. If I know where they're going to lob me, where do I want to stand? Service line, I think it's a great reference point. I call it like tennis for the blind. If it was Braille right here, you come up halfway, there we go. So if I get lob from here, it's a great lob. If I get lob from there, it was not a great lob. It was backcourt positioning. If I get passed from here, it's backcourt positioning. It's not a great passing shot. So again, I'm going to show you later how you're going to figure out what's coming back. You have to figure out, if you think it's a lob, you're going to be out here for a baseline player, if you're a net player. If you're a baseline player and the drive is coming at you, you want to get close, you want to stay back? You want to stay back, absolutely. Is that Alex that said that, or no? If you think you had the baseline and it's a lob coming back, you have choices. What can you do? Stay back and lob back, or do what? Come up halfway and take it out of the air. So again, we have established some core positions based on point scenarios. If I think an overhead smash is coming at me, and I give you any point, I'm a net player, and I give you any place on the court to be, where do you want to be? Somebody's at the net hitting an overhead. If you have time, you want to get back there. You don't know how many times I've heard, recreational players, oh, I want to stay there and challenge him. I'm like saying, if you had, one spot the whole time in the world to be, where do you defend an overhead? You want to be further away from the net and closer to the baseline. If you're at the baseline, where do you defend the overhead smash? Obviously, you're back there, you step back, you don't come running in. And it's, again, know your audience. You may be playing some players that have really weak overheads, then you can come up a little bit. But as a general rule, I see this, I'm backing up. So we establish the positions. If it's a drive, you want to get close. If you're at the baseline, you stay back. If it's a lob, you come up halfway. You back up if you're the net player. All right, so if I'm the responsibility versus opportunity, if you've been Gigi Fernandez's classes, she used those two words, and I love this. I've been using it ever since. So let's go to back the baseline responsibilities. First things first, protect your partner. The biggest pet peeve that if you want to play with if you're a 3-5, you want to play with a 4-0, you're a 4-0, you want to play with a 4-5, and so on. The better player will always complain about the same thing. My partner's hitting high balls, I'm getting killed. Okay, so your first job as a baseline player is to do what? Protect your partner. Number 2, set up your partner. And we'll get a little deeper into that, how to set up your partner. Okay, you have to hit balls so your partner can poach. At the baseline, if you watch volleyball, you like the person that sets. Okay, that's your job right there. Don't try to be a hero at the baseline and try to finish the point for that. Is not your job at the baseline. Your job at the baseline is to go out there and set up and protect. Now, what's the opportunity that you're looking for? It's to move to the net. Make the court smaller, try to move to the net, and I'll tell you when it is smart to move to the net and not more to the net. Baseline, so let's go talk about the baseline, the net player responsibilities. And I'm going to get into centering in a second. That's why I have these ropes, which is very, very important. So defend your half of the court at the net. We'll get into that details. And the net player's opportunities is to pretend. I was trying to find something that would start with a P. So it's to fake poaching, or poach, or defend your half of the court. And I'll talk about the sandwich in a second, a little later, what that strategy means. So play as a team. Understand your roles when you're playing together. Understand that you're the net player, you're looking for opportunities, you're looking to poach, you're looking to move, you can disrupt the rally. But the baseline, you're looking to do what? To set up, protect first, and then set up. Okay, be a team, be a team player. All right, centering. So this is the most difficult thing for me to get to people to understand is centering means, good court positioning means this, is you must be singles or doubles. You can take that to the doubles court, singles court as well. Is you always want to find yourself in the middle of your opponent's shot selection. Does that make sense? Did I lose everybody on that one? No? Okay, Jeff, no? So I always want to be in the middle of the area that can most likely hit the ball. So I'm going to make a little analogy with soccer because I grew up in North Africa. I played a lot of soccer. So you guys familiar with soccer a little bit? Okay, you have two goal posts. In soccer, the goal posts, let's say these two green cones are the goal posts. Okay? And there's a guy that's about to hit a penalty kick. He's right here. All right? So where do I stand? In the center or where you can possibly hit the ball, kick the ball. Does that make sense?
Oh, it's like returning serve.
Say that again?
It's like returning serve. You want to be in the center kind of way.
Pretty much, yeah. So you have to understand. So centering means the biggest thing that people lose track of is the area that they're defending. A lot of times somebody's about to hit the ball and they'll be like, right here. Okay, I got you. No. So you have to learn to be in the center of your opponent's shot selection. Okay, so in doubles, it complicates things because there's two players and there's really two centers. What drives me nuts is that this is not the center of the court. The center of the court for you is the center of your opponent's shot selection. Am I making any sense, everybody? To try to find yourself. So in soccer, those goalposts never moved. So it's pretty simple. You're always checking, okay, I'm right here, I'm right here. But in tennis, as soon as your opponent moves, the center of their shot moves. So you need to move. So there's, just follow the ball. Well, actually, sometimes you're at the baseline, you don't follow the ball. When my opponent goes wide, I got to go the other way. I got to go wide. I don't follow the ball. At the net, I follow the ball. So that's why I don't like to use the word follow the ball. If you understand, the area that you defend, and too often there'd be a net player say, okay, what's the area you're defending? They're like, I don't know. They just don't know. They just say, oh, my opponent's going to go cross court, so they move to the middle. Well, if I'm playing over here with Lance, and the ball's pulled wide, I'm going to show you with the ropes, and a lot of my students, the person that will move the best, Lance, come on out here real quick. Lance is right here, and let's say that your opponent is way off the court, my racket is over there. So Lance moves out wide, stay right here, stay right here. So the guy that's going to screw up is going to be Lance and not me. I'm going to kind of follow the ball that way. Lance thinks that the ball is going to come back cross court, and this one, we clash with rackets. If we have, thank you, that's all I needed. Here you go. So I see it a lot. I'd rather see two rackets clash than no rackets, to be honest with you, but too often it's the person trailing that doesn't really, they were not centered with the opponent's shot selection. So what I'm going to show you next is, okay, I need a little help. Faisal, can you grab the stick over there? And then Alex, come on out here. And Lance, Jonathan, you want to come out and help out, please? All right. So we got to go over the net. You're going to go. Faisal, go over to the deuce court over there.
Which one you want me to grab?
Just grab the middle one, and then here we go. Yeah, here we go. So go over the net. If you go right in the center of the court, if you don't mind. So let's use this use this right now as if we're playing singles. So you're right in the middle. So you go to the edge right here. You come to the middle right here. All right, and then Jonathan we're playing singles right now. So where's the middle of the court? Does that make sense, right? The middle is where? that pink line right here, I'm right in the middle. Now we're going to complicate things a little bit. So what I want you to understand is in doubles, so move over all the way right there on the edge, right there. I want you guys to keep the same distance, okay? So go all the way out there. Okay, so again, the area, so if I'm playing doubles, right now, the area, why do I start here when I'm playing doubles? And my partner's over there, why? This is my half of the court. First, the court is separated which way? My half, your half. Things are gonna change. So the area I'm covering is pretty much from here to where Alex is. Now, let's go to the deuce court. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Now, you shift over a little bit more this way. Come on, we're going to play doubles now. Go all the way to the middle of the court. Thank you, Jonathan. Right here, keep going tighter, tighter right here. So, now, where am I right now? In the middle of where Faisal can hit the ball, correct? I'm right here, right in the middle. Now, Faisal, keep moving over there that way. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. So you got to go out this way a little bit more. You go out that way, and you kind of stay pretty, you move a little bit. So technically, if he was hitting the ball that far over, you move a little much out there, but I've gone way over. Where do I want to? Yeah, I got him off the court. So I'm going to be where? I mean, I've shifted almost all the way how far it is. Thanks a lot, man. Here we go. So let's say that I'm going to put my hat. Don't make fun of my hair, okay? I'm going to put my hat right here. Stay right here. Now, you guys shift all the way. You stay. So there's obviously come over this way. Now I'm the other guy. So you go to this way, keep moving that way, come on over to the middle of the court. Where's that pink line? Pink line right here and right about. So you see how, move this way a little bit. The distance behind me right here, the court, the whole, his area, everything just shifted this way. So where's the middle now? I'm pretty much going to be right about here. So see where my hat, so if Faisal's over there, you say, well, Christophe, how about this part of the court right here? That guy can make that shot, trust me. It's going to be a great shot. So what you have to learn to do all the time is figure out the middle of your opponent's shot. But the problem is, as far as I'll come back this way a little bit more. Come back, come back, come back, come back. I'm still playing the ad court now. Keep going back. You guys keep adjusting this way. So if Faisal's over here, Jonathan, you're right here. Come this way. More this. Alex, you're good this way. Keep going that way. So these guys right here, so how many feet are there between the alley and the middle of the court, Jonathan? Do you know exactly? 18. So the 18 feet that I covered never changes. It just moves. And I got to constantly put myself in the middle of my opponent's shot selection. So that's what I mean by centering. So do I follow the ball? Not really. Go back, Faisal, a little bit more. Keep going back. Keep going back. Keep going back and go wide. There you go. So you're going to go wide too. You're going to go pulling hard this way. So come this way. Come this way. So if I pull them wide and I'm back at the baseline, did I follow him to the left or did I go the opposite way? What was that? I follow, give me more. I went to the middle of his shot selection. Where's the middle? That way or this way? That way. So if I was at the net, did I go with him or away from him? You guys follow me on this one? So if I'm the net guy right here, Faisal goes wide, so I was here, I pull him wide, I'm going to come right here, right? But if I was at the baseline where Alex is, and I pulled them wide, so I started here, where did I go? I went that way. Okay, more this way, because the middle of the court is going to be more this way. See what that line is right there? You guys probably have a better view from the back, but I didn't want you to get up all the time. So centering is always figuring out that you need to be in the middle of your opponent's shot selection. The trouble is that the middle never stays in the middle of the court. So this is why when we say get in the middle of the court, I hate that, I wish these lines could be just pulled out because the middle is your middle of your opponent's shot selection. Did you guys get that a little bit? Thank you, guys. Move it back off the court. Thank you, Jonathan. Well, I'll reel it in later. So the middle is not the middle. When you're playing one up, one back, you're always going to find yourself going opposite. So can you guys see the drawings pretty well there from where you are? So the line, oh, I have a pointer. Very cool, very cool. All right, so when we play in one up, one back, that's what I just showed you. The further A goes this way to the left, D goes that way. But if we go to the next frame, D went now where? To the middle. If it was back, it would have been further away. So again, it's for you to always figure out where the middle of your opponent's shot selection, and you will never fight for that ball down the middle of the court. So you want to be very, very, very paranoid when you play. What if the ball was coming to me? What if the ball is coming to me? To find that middle of the court. Okay, the sandwich. What I mean by that is that the court is, to me, cut in two halves. The sandwich is the way you cut up a sandwich, you know, like on the sides. Does that make sense? Not straight on the cross. So it looks like two halves of a sandwich on top and two halves on the bottom. That only means that player B right here, it's me right here. If I'm playing, any short ball right here, it's mine. Okay, we're going to talk about poaching later, but anything short right here. So my half of the court is not just here. I'm going to be in the middle of my opponent's shot selection, but I also got to cover the short ball. It's a lot easier for B to go right here, get everything short right here than to A. And if we play one up, one back, okay, this is a one up, one back scenario. If a ball goes, a lob goes over there, it's a lot easier for A to get it. So understand when you're playing, okay, one up, one back dubs, okay, which is, you see that more and more on the ATP tour, which I actually kind of hated at first. I'm sure you never stayed back, right, Jonathan? Never, exactly. So what's your take behind the guys playing one up, one back a lot nowadays?
What's my take on it?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the forehands have gotten better, but if you can get two up against one up, one back, that's a basketball.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, but a lot of my, you know, I used to say, you got to come to the net. I want people to come to the net, but we talk about when to come to the net. So there's nothing wrong with one up, one back, is if they're doing one up, one back. But as soon as they go two up on you, you either go back to come up together or drop to two back. So the sandwich is just really for the two net players to understand. For C, all this is yours. Not talking about poaching yet, but just to try to get anything short, anything weak is right here. And then the D gets the balls all the way back in the baseline. All right, so there's pretty much three scenarios in each position that can possibly happen when you're playing. When I'm a baseline player, and this is what I'm going to get to, the stop chasing, start expecting. When I'm a baseline player right here, and I'm talking about balls coming to my half of the court. I'm not talking about a lob on my partner's head, about me back at the baseline. The ball is going to come back either deep to me, it's going to be short, or it's going to be an angle. And those three things are going to be based on what I gave my opponent. When I'm at the net, I'm either going to get lobbed, some of the ball is going to be driven at me, or it's going to be an angle. That's it. Okay, so there's three scenarios that can possibly happen, and these are the things that you look for, that you're going to show you in 1 second. So all of you are familiar with Craig O'Shaughnessy zones. We talked about this morning, A, B, C, and D. You guys familiar with that? So I kind of took that system, if you want to call it that, and did zones, but the zones are this way. A, B, C, and pretty much A, B, C, and D. Well, hold on a second. The D is a little big right here. There we go. So let's talk about each zone. We're going to start with the deepest zone on the court. We're going to talk about D. So as you get better, you move up the food chain, that zone gets smaller and smaller. So D is any deep balls that come very, very deep in the court. So what do you expect if you hit a ball into D? What do you expect that your opponent is going to do? What was that? Most likely it's going to be a defensive shot. So remember, when you're at the baseline, three things are going to happen. They're going to hit the ball deep, short, or angled. So if I'm back here and I hit the ball in D, what am I expecting? Something weak, something shallow. So you can start to trend and move forward. You can anticipate, I'm going to tell you, that ball is most likely going to be short and shallow ball. From the 4 or 5 level down, you hit deep balls at the baseline, your opponent is most likely going to go super, super deep. Sorry, A, B, C, and D. So A is the deepest ball on the court. A, deep ball. D is the dash, the short ball. So anything deep, you're the baseline player, how do you anticipate, what do you anticipate is going to come? Short or shallow? Anybody? You hit the ball in zone A, deep ball. What's going to come back? Short. You move forward. Now B, the zone B right here is no man's land. If you give your opponent a ball right about here, what do you expect is going to come back? Are they in control? So what should you do? Stay back or come in? Stay back. Again, remember the premise of this lecture is learning to know where the ball is going to be. So if you hit into A, then it's like going to be short, trend forward. If you give them a B and you're a baseline player, what do? You hang back. Okay, you pretty much give them what they wanted. So don't start moving forward. The ball's bouncing in zone B, kind of hang back. C, I say, call, what do you see? C is a gray area ball. You just hit a ball to them, area C is right, so just inside, halfway through the service box. So it's how do they get, what do you see? What I mean is, how are they getting to that ball? Are they getting to that ball running, smiling, foaming at the mouth? Okay, what do you do if you're a baseline player? You just hang back. But they may be struggling to get to that ball. So then you would move in. So you gave him kind of a shallow ball, but sometimes shallow balls aren't, as bad as you think they are. If they're struggling, move forward. Again, learn to know what the ball is going to be. You hit the ball in area D. It's pretty much, you shanked it short, you hit it short. D is for dash. What does that mean? Just go forward, come moving forward. So pretty much whatever ball you gave them, if you give them ball in zone A, you should attack. That's an opportunity to come forward. You give them a zone B, it's irresponsible. You kind of hang back, don't come forward. Most balls are going to come back to you. Zone C is the gray area, and D is dash, meaning move forward. I'm trying to play on the words a little bit. Does that make sense, everyone? So pretty much whatever you gave them, I'm giving you a pretty good idea of what's coming back. 80% of the time. Okay? I'm telling you, this shit works. Okay, you just got to start believing it. It's like Craig O'Shaughnessy was brilliant, the A, B, C, D, and I'm hoping I'm just as brilliant, but maybe not. When you're the net player now, okay, so I'm going to be the net player. I'll go on the other side so that makes a little more sense. And I see in front of me a ball bouncing in zone A. What should I do? So pinch or poach. Pinch means I'm going to pinch the middle of the court. If somebody's back there, the ball's bouncing, they're pretty much struggling, what is the last thing they're going to try to do? Try to go down your alley, right? So what do you do? When the person's in trouble, that's when you can start to pinch or poach, and we'll get to the poach in a minute. Okay, so you have the net. I see A. I'm going to start moving this way a little bit. The ball's in zone B. I'm a net player. I'm right here. The ball's in front of me. I'm right here. Is that a ball that I should be really trying to look for an opportunity to poach? No. I'm pretty much being said. Whenever your opponent's moving forward and in control, they can possibly go down your alley. So what do? I'm just responsible for my half of the court. I'm not going to go out there and try to poach. I may fake, move a little bit. I'm a really big believer in faking. Try to move a little bit, but just make sure you come home. Some people fake and then just stay. Fake and then just come back. But when the ball bounces, go out and then come back, do something. But B is a good time to do that. Don't just stand stationary. And then zone C is so you're at the net and you see your opponents running in. So this is definitely responsible. But how are they in control? Are they in trouble? But again, it's more of a responsibility ball. Short ball, unless they're in trouble and struggling. The ball's D. The baseline, they're running in. It's a really, really short ball. You have an opportunity to move. So again, I'm at the net, and what do I see in front of me? Again, we have to figure out where the ball is going to be based on this shot. The ball that came from you or your partner. That's what you're looking for. You're now waiting for that ball to be hit to come back to you. So what I try to teach my students is pretty much, I'm poaching. Physically, which ball am I poaching? Obviously, this ball. The ball is coming this way. I'm poaching that ball. I'm going to hit it. But I'm planning my poach, or I'm planning my core positioning when I was at the baseline on the outgoing ball, predicting the incoming ball. Because if you're just waiting for the ball to be hit, what are you doing? you're chasing. You're not getting involved. Does that make sense? So figure out, again, so the bouncing, it's the bounce zone. It's pretty much where the ball bounces gives you the first clue. I mean, there's so many other clues. I mean, it's just where the person is making contact, what kind of grip they have, what kind of player they have. But I'm trying to simplify it, is where the ball bounces is your first clue. Where the ball bounces on the other side is the first clue. Now, when you're at the net, this is where things get complicated. There is now the same throw zones behind you. So I'm at the net right here, and it's a ball going into zone A. What does that mean for my partner? Control or trouble? Trouble. What should I do? Back off a little bit. Back off more than maybe I would if it was a ball in zone 2. So again, the awareness of what's happening. So this is what doubles gets complicated. And only I want you to figure out, the ABC in front of you, but there's also an ABC behind you. So again, figuring out where that ball bounces and you position yourself. Again, the two players that have the most difficult position on the court. It's not the two players hitting the ball baseline to baseline. Those guys have it figured out. They're chasing the ball down. They're hitting the ball to each other. Or they can move a little bit. But it's the two players that are at the net. The two players that don't have the ball. It's called moving without the ball. Kind of figuring out where the next ball is going to be. Does that make sense? So instead of kind of waiting in your corner, like, I hope they don't hit it to me. But sometimes if they don't hit it to you, actually you're doing something really good. You're in the right spot. Or you're the best player on the court. And they don't hit it to you. They pick on your partner. But figuring out the zone, the bouncing zone, where is the ball bouncing on the court? It gives you a really good idea of what is about to come. Again, this is all about expecting. So if I'm playing with Dom, and Dom's at the baseline, and the ball is bouncing in zone A, way back there, as much as I love you, Dom, but I'm going to back off because I know you're in trouble. Right? So again, getting that good feel of the point where the ball is bouncing. Does that make sense, everybody? Any questions? No? All right, we'll keep moving. So the poach, this is my favorite part of playing doubles, is when to poach. And you guys ever watch the TV series on ESPN 30 for 30? Do you guys know how they started all the time? What if I was to tell you, and they go into the story. So I love that line. So what if I was to tell you that there's a time in the point that there's no freaking way your opponent's going to go down your alley? You figured that out. So why should you stay? So let's say I'm playing the ad court right here. I figure out that the ball that they're dealing with, there's no freaking way they go down here. Now, let me take a step back. Do you remember what happened 2 years ago in Major League Baseball, the shift? Everybody familiar with the shift in baseball? Faisal? No? Jonathan? Yeah, the shift. So they figured out the analytics of the game. They figured out where Jonathan came to bat, the guy could never hit the left field. Never, like 10% of the time. So what did they do? They moved the third baseman, they moved the left fielder, they moved everybody to one side of the field. Guess what happened to the batting average of guys that were getting paid $20, $30 million a year? Boom. So the analogy I'm trying to make here is pretty much, what if you know that that person, it's not because who they are, but the situation that they're in, there's no way they're going to come here. So why should you stay? Am I making sense, everybody? So let's say I'm playing with Brian. Wake up, Brian. So if I'm playing with Brian over there, and he's in the corner dealing with a high ball over his shoulders, can he come down my alley? Try. But he's most likely not going to go to. So at the recreational level, okay, when do people go down the line? Most likely. When they're in control, exactly. When they're in control. So the kids you coach at, the advanced kids, they can, they can go down line sometimes when they're not supposed to, but they have the skill set to do it. My point here, I'm trying to focus on all of you recreational players that even up to the 4 or 5 level, if you can sniff out that person cannot come down your alley, why should you stay? Obviously, you want to leave. What's the good timing of the poach? After the ball bounces, before it's been hit, just go. Now, I'm not saying that you're not going to poach a ball that is kind of knocking at your door. So a lot of times, students will be at the net, and the ball will go right under their nose. I think, oh, I should have had that. Okay, well, I'll say, well, take a step back. What kind of ball did your opponent receive? Was it a zone 2? So you had a responsibility. See, if it's zone 2, what do I have first? First, I have a responsibility. Now, if it's a zone, zone 2, B, okay, they're in control. I mean, if they come knocking at my door, please split step and go. But how many of you truly split step? Not many. I mean, split step is like the Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, or Yeti. Often talked about, rarely seen. Okay, so you be at the net, be on your toes, get ready to poach, yes. But if you want to be a successful poacher, start to go after the balls that there's no freaking way your opponent was going to go down your alley. So what it was is zone A, right? Any kind of trouble. So trouble has many faces on the tennis court. The one that is you're least likely to recognize is when your opponent is not moving at all, but the ball is bouncing super deep. Trust me, they're not in control. Trouble is easy to figure. The person is running like this, you should be poaching. The person is reaching for the ball high, you should be moving at the net. But when you see somebody in control, you're responsible first. If it's knocking at your door, please split step and go get it. But I'm telling you, there's more balls that are right there. We're right there for the taking. We're right there. You have to sniff out. So you have to do that shift mentality. Hey, no, on that ball, there's no freaking way that person can go down my alley. And you just go. Run like a thief, run across the net. And a true poach, to me, a true poach. The difference between being aggressive and net and poaching. So if I'm at the net here, and I take a ball like this, I'm just being an aggressive net player. A true poacher is if I'm here, and I volleyed all the way out here. Boom. Now that's a poach. That's when I get excited. That you took off at the right time. You took off on the right ball. And how are you going to do that? Bo, when are you going to do it?
Do what?
Jesus, come on.
You're going to do it
when
you know that
there's no freaking way they're going to, yeah.
coach because they know that they're going to go that way and you're going to go that way.
So it's the old you know that I know?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, this is when the game gets fun, actually, as you go up the food chain. Like if I'm playing with Jonathan knows that as soon as I see that he's in trouble. Now, I have a great video, but I should have put it up there. Some of you don't know that, guys don't know that, but 2 years ago, I had open heart surgery, believe it or not. Just one valve broke, what I never knew I had it, whatever. I go play an exhibition match, and a friend of mine taped it. I serve and volley. So I come in, it was on the ad court, and I come in, I have a low volley right here. I'm running in, a low volley right there. So I know that this net guy right here, what is he going to try to do? He's going to try to poach because I'm in trouble. I think it was a half volley. So I know that he knew. So what did I do? I went down the line. I mean, that's a very low percentage shot, but so we all know the answers to this test. Okay? We all know the answers. But you still taking a calculated risk. So if I did that serve and volley 10 times and try to come in and half volley it down the line, it's going to be maybe I'm going to win 40%, 30%. So what you got to figure out. So I started off the lecture earlier. Why do you stand at the service line when your partner reserve? What do you off the net when your partner hits in case your partner screws up? Little things like that. Just remember that. When should you poach? When you figure it out, you can be aggressive, but you figure out your opponent cannot go down your alley. Just go. Don't stay there. Don't watch them struggle and just let this floater go across. Okay, so I'm not doing the doubles this weekend, but if you really go out there and you feel like you took a ball all the way across right there, that's to me, that is the right poach. Okay, I got a couple minutes left. The 4 o'clock move and the partner engaged. I wish we could do this live, but so 4 o'clock move is when I'm a net player. Again, all this is to try to get you to go where the ball is going to be. I'm here, I'm playing with my partner goes to the net player. Where's my 4 o'clock? So I'm here, the ball goes to the net player, drop back to 4 o'clock because most likely when the ball is hit to that net player, this is where most balls go. Trust me, I have enough data, I've seen it enough, and I have every level. Because well, are they going to hit a short angle right there? Like if it's a soft shot, maybe. So what you do is you try to make something good out of a bad situation. Your partner just hit a high ball to the net player, drop back to 4 o'clock. Okay? Net partners engage, go to the net. So I wish we could demonstrate that right now, but what if I was to tell you, like ESPN 30 for 30, what if I was to tell you there's a moment on the court that the ball will be hit 3 times before it's hit to you? When does that happen? The ball's going to be hit 3 times before it comes back to you. Is when the ball, so you're here at the baseline, you hit the ball, so the ball's going to be hit once to the opposite player, 2 to your net player, 3 back to the other side. So the ball got hit 3 times. While that ball was being hit 3 times, what should you do? Move forward. Why, Ken?
Trying to cut off their reaction time, their space. You're reducing their space.
Pretty much, okay. At the recreational level, what is the worst thing you don't want your partner to do? Is hit to the net player, right? So most likely, Ken, come out here real quick. So the ball, Ken just hit a deep ball. The ball comes to me right here, and when I'm hitting a volley right here, most likely you guys screwed up. You hit it to the net player. So I'm going to hit some kind of halfway decent volley. What do you think is going to come back? Something short right here. So whenever you see your partner engaged and you're at the baseline, you don't want to run and sprint because there's always that lucky lob over there, but move forward. So that's one of the things that partners engaged, go, move forward. Just like the fight. Thank you, Ken. Very much. Thank you. So all those little moves, again, the partners engaged, the 4 o'clock, the poaching, the zones, it's all to guide you to where the ball is going to be. Stop chasing, figure out, hey, this just happened. I think this is going to happen. And look, 80% of the time, I'm telling you, the shit works 80% of the time. Okay, the 20% is that Shankosaurus, deadly dinosaur, and the lucky shot, the great shot when you see pros go like this, good shot. So let's see what else do I have. Well, that's one takeaway. That's pretty much what I just said. Position yourself where the ball is going to determine by you or your shots you have just hit. So that's what anticipating is. That's what pretty much the gist of this lecture is about. But that's what you got to figure out. Don't be be proactive. Don't be reactive. And everything they give in you is based on what you gave them. So I hate it when people come back to me, I got lobbed all day. Okay, did you give him balls that were easy to lob? Didn't you see the lob coming? How do you get rid of lobs? Or drive. Exactly. It's very difficult to hit a lob of a hard head shot. So maybe your approach shot was weak. Okay, too soft so they could do it. So I hit it harder. Or like Ken said, just hit it really short. That's going to be a very difficult shot to lob. So I get past a lot. Most recreational players, 3-5 players, get past from right here. Because you feel like you see somebody winding up. So what is then I'll be done. The organ that has evolved the least in our body? The brain. Who said that? Very good, very good. It's the brain. So we have these instinctive feelings, like you see somebody winding, you're at the net, somebody's at the baseline winding up. Okay, not at the net winding up. That's a good instinct. Get out of the way, you're going to get hurt. But you see somebody at the baseline winding up. What do you say? Oh, shit. What's your first instinct? To go back to buy time. But what do you do? When you buy time, you give them more space. Okay, it's the opposite. If they're winding up, you want to go close. The last move, you're at the net right here. Okay? And you're right about, you're at the net and you hit a really, really, really good volley and you see your opponent struggle. Okay, they're really going off the hook, they're struggling. What's your first instinct? To want to go forward. Let's say we're both at the net. Okay, what is a good player going to try to do? Lob. So almost like it's counter. So we're not the caveman anymore. Oh, wounded animal. I got to go and finish him off. No, that wounded animal is smart. They're going to try to lob you. So there's a lot of counterintuitive things that happen on the court. Anyways, any questions? Negative? All right, so remember, yes?
What happens if your partner's not having a good day?
Not having a good day or not playing, not having a good day?
Try to overcompensate?
I say, my biggest advice when either you have a partner that does not know how to play well, who's having a bad day, just play your game. You do the best that you can. You can't cover for him. You can't help him out. Be in the right position, poach the right shots. Not a good day, just like Faisal had a good lecture about talking to each other, try to pump them up. Oh, that's. Say that again.
Just play within yourself.
You got, and then play the right strategy. Be like I said, centering. Be in the middle. All you can do is to find the centering. To me, is the most important part in double strategy. To try to figure out, okay, which area am I defending? Am I in the middle if they come to me? You can't help it when they're going to go over there. You can't help it. Got it? Does that make sense? All right, you guys. I'm done.